Guys, what's up and welcome to the weekly vlog. How are we all doing? And welcome to 40 Runs HQ. So, the marathon training plan. This video is all about that. But before we get into that and all the ins and outs of it, I've got to go for a run. We're going to be taking these out today. Check those bad boys out. The Adidas Solar Boost 3. So I've got to go for a run. And then we've got the 40 Runs virtual running. If you don't know what that is, it's a virtual Zoom online coach thing that we do. And I'll show you that very quickly before we then get into the marathon training plan for Newport.
Everybody give me a thumbs up, thumbs down if you're feeling okay after the warm-up. Everybody alright? Please tell me you are. Someone talk to me. Is anybody still there? Danny's alright, she's sticking her tongue out. Okay, right. So, just to remind you, 3 minutes, even pace. That's what we're looking for. 3 minutes of that pace, whatever it was, that you can consistently hold, just for 3 minutes. Then you're going to go up, or you can go down. But ideally you go up, because we want to move out of that aerobic state. We want to go up a little bit, get those heart rates up a bit. And then I want you to come down and try and find that pace. So when you finish, you'll be able to look back and you see if you managed it. I don't know whether to eat shortbread or open the heroes. So while I do that, you guys are going to get started. I'm going to pick some music. Are we ready, people? Does that all make sense? 3 minutes, easy pace, 1 minute, tough. Okay? Are you ready? When the music starts, you go. I love those sessions, absolutely love those sessions. And you know what? I give them credit for coming out and doing that. We're in lockdown. You know, you could quite easily sit at home and do nothing. But those guys, smashing it again. And I can't wait till next week. It's one of my favourite nights of the week, a Wednesday, when these guys do it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Right, let's get on to that training plan. Right guys, so we're back at HQ and as always, trying to do 3 million things at once. Where do we start? And by the way, Solar Boost 3 review coming out in a couple of weeks. Right, training plan. So, here it is, the training plan. The Newport marathon training plan. By the way, this plan is available on the 40 Runs website. The sort of original version of it. I've played around with my own version, but the sort of foundation, the base of the plan is on there. You know, if you followed that along, you wouldn't go too wrong. But I've played around with it a little bit based on a couple of things, which we'll get into today. So, marathon training plan for April the 18th. Let's get stuck in. Right, so I'll put up somewhere on the screen as we go through this little sort of tidbits from it. And we won't go through the whole 16 week plan. I think it's a 16 week plan. As we go, as you can see, I've already been creative on it. I think there's a couple of things that I want to pass on to you. Firstly, and most importantly, is a training plan is a plan. It's not the law. It's not like the lockdown rules that you have to follow. A plan, a training plan, is there to guide you over a 16-week period or whatever period it is to get you to the point at which you're ready to take on whatever event or race that you're doing. It is a totally flexible and fluid situation is the wrong word. Totally flexible and fluid sort of guidelines, I suppose, really. It's just to sort of push you along that sort of journey up that mountain, you know, to the point at which you get to the peak and then you come down the other side. And that's probably it's not a very good way of describing it, but it's one way to describe it. And along that climb, you will have ups and downs. You will have moments where you have to stop and reflect, and you will have
periods of uncertainty, and you will have things that come up, you know, during that plan. And that is my point. You know, this plan has to be flexible, and it has to fit into your lifestyle and all the plans that we do on 40 Runs. And you know, when I do plans as a coach, and if somebody says to me, you know, I've got this and this, it's all about looking at the individual goals and what they're looking to achieve, and try and sort of narrow it down and build into that around the individual person. So while these are great that you can download, and you know, it's awesome that you want to download my training plans, at the same time take them and sort of play with them. You know, they're not set in stone, and that's the point I wanted to make. The second thing as well, the other point I just wanted to make as well, and I kind of just alluded to it, is one, when you do get a training plan, try and get it from somebody who's qualified, and or you know, who's got experience doing plans and stuff like that. But more importantly, that it's tailored at some point towards you. It's good to get a plan like a Couch to 5K off the NHS website, Our Plan. You know, you can get them, and that's awesome, and they will work. But when you start going into marathons and things like that, try and get something, and then maybe get somebody to have a look at it. Where I say, ideally a coach, but maybe get somebody who's maybe run one or two, and get them to get their eyes on it. That's what I'm trying to the point I'm trying to make, especially for you people who are doing maybe your first marathon. So yeah, just try and get another set of eyes on it. That's the idea, because it's always good, and I still do it myself. You know, as I said, you know, I am a qualified coach, but you know, I've gone through this, and I've spoken to my peers and said, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, getting input from other people is really, really important. Other runners, people are doing different training plans to myself. You know, like Alan, for example, brilliant example. He's doing the Hanson plan, which is totally different to what I'm doing. So again, that's the you know, they're the two main points I wanted to make before we get into it. Make sure that you go into it with your eyes open, and you're aware that it's got to be fluid and it's got to be flexible. And two, just try and get either from somebody who's qualified, but also if you can't get that, then maybe get another set of eyeballs on your training plan. Right, so let's get into the plan itself. Here it is, and I pretty much break it down into different periods. I use the first 4 weeks of any plan to sort of do the building, do the foundation work. Then I do the sort of what's the best way to describe it? Sort of the hard work in the middle of it, and then we sort of then do the taper. So the first section always for me is all about building the foundation and putting those blocks in place. I use a 4-week period in which to establish the frequency, establish my pacing, establish my heart rate zones, and just the sort of familiarity of getting out and running, in this case 6 times a week. The runs themselves are, what's the best way to describe it? So I played around with this to a degree, and as you can see, I've scribbled all over it. The speed sessions don't really kick in until week 4, I think it was. I've not got the whole thing here. Week 4, because the first, like I say, the first 4 weeks, I'm just literally, yeah, so look, on a Wednesday, if you look at the difference, so that's week 2, week 11, we've got the high effort. You've probably not seen that on the camera, but I'll put bits up as I'm talking about this, but Wednesday then becomes my high effort there. So, and it's got rid of a low effort, because like I say, the first 4 weeks, I'm just building frequency. I'm just building the familiarity of going out and running 6 times. I've dropped the speed, I've dropped the cross training. It's on the plan, but I've dropped the cross training. The reason is basically, there's no gyms or anything like that. Yes, I could go out and cycle. Yes, I could do stuff. But what I've chosen to do is twice in the week, in the evening, I'm doing a Zoom class. Actually, if you've not seen it, or I don't know if it's out yet, but there is a 20-minute hit session for runners. For example, we've done a video. So that sort of thing I'm doing twice a week, but it's not, I've not put it in the plan because it doesn't really, it's no point. I know I'm doing it. I've got one rest day, and that's consistent throughout the whole plan. Rest is just as important as anything else. But I am running 6 times a week during this plan as we aim for this sort of 350. I love a 345, but 350 marathon. I gauge my runs in terms of effort, and also more from a time point of view. If you look, just as example, in week 2, because that's where we're at. So medium effort, marathon pace, so goal pace, 3-minute warm up, 35-minute run, 2-minute cool down, obviously with a stretch. I put a 7 in there. That's a 7-kilometre run for me. So I'm looking to do the 7 kilometres in the 35 minutes, not the warm up or the cool down. The 7K has to be done within that 35 minutes. That's working on that goal pace, which I spoke about earlier. So that's kind of, I'm working to time, low pace, low effort, sorry, easy pace, 45-minute run. So I'm looking more to run to time at the moment than actual distance. The distance comes in on my long run. Now my long runs, just as an example, on week 2, and we'll switch up further into the plan. Medium effort obviously is a long run, easy pace, 2-minute warm up to get into the run. Then we've got a 13-mile run, 2-minute cool down with a stretch at the end. The mileage of that week, to give you an idea, is 45 kilometres, 28 miles, week 2, which is about roughly, I sort of flip between that sort of distance, and I tend to go up, you know, to like 50 kilometres on average when I'm sort of in and out of training. That's me. So that really is a normal week for me, to be honest. But that's where we start off with the plan. I do factor in a down week. It's really important to factor in a down week. And again, you can see we're at 50k here, but we drop down to 40k on that down week. Again, look, I've just stuck in an extra rest day there. But the idea is that the first 4 weeks is all about building that foundation on which to get up that mountain. Right, we'll jump ahead. So this is week 9. So just to give you an idea, so week 9 still looks very similar. You again ignore cross training because I've got rid of that and I've moved the low effort to there and I put a speed session in there. But that's just me. Week 9. Low minute, so the low effort on a Monday now is the 45-minute run. Goal pace running is up to 55 minutes, so I'm looking at doing 55 minutes worth at goal pace. Wednesday, just to give you an idea of a high effort, so I'm doing a 4-minute easy run, 30-minute fast, 30-minute slow, 30-minute fast, 30-minute slow, 1 minute fast, 1 minute slow, 2 minutes fast, 2 minutes slow, 1 minute fast, 1 minute slow, and then we're repeating it. Normally you'd go down to 30 seconds, but I'm actually repeating it, so I go back straight into it to do 30 seconds fast, and 30 seconds, I did say that first time, let me know in the comments, 30 second fast, 30. So I'm just repeating that over that period of time during that, and that's obviously working at the top end of my energy systems. I'm trying to really crack up that max velocity where I can hit it where possible, try and hold it, and the aerobic benefit during those sessions is huge, and will give a massive uptick to my overall sort of aerobic state. I'm doing them, as I say, I will do a not that high intensity, but I will then do another speed session on the Friday. That will probably be, if I'm doing something like that there, I will probably do a tempo run on the Friday. So, 4 or 5 miles, probably 4 miles at the moment in week 9 at a tempo pace. Or I might even do a progressive run. They're great to do. Where you start off at a reasonable pace and then you just get quicker and quicker over the period of time that you're out there. So that's sort of week 9, week 10. In terms of mileage, we are here on the long run. We're doing the first 6 miles at marathon pace. First 6 miles at easy pace. We then do 3 miles of marathon pace, and then we finish with easy pace again, and we're doing a total of 16 miles. So I'm adding elements of goal pace in that long run by then. We're on week 9, so I'm actually making sure that during that longer run, I'm getting through my legs some of the goal pace. That's again to improve, one, how it feels, but also, again, the aerobic benefits is big because you're running that on tired legs, so you're simulating it, which is awesome. We then week 10 we hit 20 miles. That may seem early for some of you. Don't panic, by the way, if you're a new runner and you're watching this and you think, oh, week 10 is doing 20 miles. Don't forget, this is a plan for a 3:50 marathon for me. But I like, and this is my own personal preference, and I'm not telling you to do this at all, but I like as a runner to go up to 20 miles, right? Then come down, then go up again, then come down. The reason that is I struggle, and I've said a million times in this channel, with the marathon distance. And I feel during my marathon training, the more runs I do at that distance, the better it is for me mentally. I just like to get a few 20-mile runs under my bag, but then I'll come down. And that's the point. Where is it? I just try and find. I should have done it, to be honest with you, but to find it. So just give you an example. So the next week, I'm back down to 16 miles, as an example. So that's just, and then I'm up to 18. That's what I like to do. I like to sort of go up and then come down. That's just the way I like to train. That's why I say my original point. You know, these things are, you know, designed to be flexible, fluid, and always get someone else to have a look at it, give you some ideas. So that's what we're doing. You know, that's peaking out there. That's 46 miles that week, just to give you an idea. On week 10, which again, some people might say that's a lot of miles, but don't forget where I'm coming from. Okay. We get to week 14. The taper begins. I personally like a 2-week taper. It's just me. But we hit that sort of 20 miles on week 13 to another 20-mile run. Again, high intensity efforts. Week 14, so that's when we begin the taper. It pretty much, a taper for me is just bringing the distances down. I like to keep the frequency. I like to keep my legs ticking over. The week before, I will drop, you know, 1 or 2 runs, so I get to the line nice and fresh. But still, you know, I still will run, you know, 5 times that week, but really low level. And that's kind of the plan. I hope it gives you some ideas. So you can download it. But yeah, I hope it gives you some ideas on what we're doing in terms of training and all that sort of stuff. Right, so that's it. Hopefully, probably didn't, but hopefully that made some sense. And really, more than anything else that I want to get across to you was those 2 points. But also, from looking at my plan, it's a real sort of volume-paced plan. It's a real sort of time on feet focus, which is really what I wanted to do this time around, was really focus on the consistency of running actually quite a lot to see what impact that has on the marathon time. It may not have any impact at all. It may be too much, and I'll tweak that for the autumn, but I wanted to put that into play, and I wanted to really see the sort of, what's the best way? See the result of doing this sort of volume-paced training plan this time around. But this is where you guys come in, and this is how I wanted to finish the video more than anything else, was let me know in the comments, 1, what are you training for in terms of you know, longer distance runs, you know, whether that be a 5K for you or 10K or whatever, or even the marathon. What are you looking for in terms of times? And where do you get your plans from? And the reason that is because just because I'm saying that the 40 runs plans, there's other awesome places to get them. So put the links below in the comments where you get your training plans from, so other people who watch this video can have a look for themselves, because it's always good, like I say, to sort of grab different ones, I think, and then have an input in that, and then, like I said earlier, get somebody to get some eyes on it as well. But share them down below in the comments. I'll be interested to see that as well. But it's more for everybody else who watches the video, because maybe they're struggling where to get a training plan, because I see it so many people saying, oh, has anyone got any training plans? Where do I get training plans and all that sort of stuff? Or are these any good? So stick them down there, reputable ones that you've used, or maybe that you are using and they are good. So that would be awesome if you could share that. But that's it this week. Another busy week as always on 40 runs. We have tried to scale back the videos, like I said in January we would do. We're doing, what is it, 3 or 4 a week? Let me know in the comments, is that okay for you at the moment? Are you getting your sort of feel of 40 runs? It will be better when we get into the summer. We can get some events and stuff like that back on the channel, more adventures and things like that. But we've got about 1 million shoes to review. I'm really lucky at the moment. I've just got so many shoes and stuff being sent to me to review. So that's awesome. We're working our way through there as best we can, as quick as we can, to get them out to you, so you can see what we think about them. But that's it this week. End of the vlog. Next week, I'm not sure yet what we're going to be talking about, but all I know, it's going to be awesome.